light and heat. Time to take a stand, boys. Time to make a choice. Time to find our courage. Time to be deployed. Make our only stand here. Make our roads complete. All we waited for now, past and future meet. Get your weapons ready. Kiss loved ones goodbye. Now our time is coming, and it is not the time to cry. Settle wrong from right. In the time of conflict, when the bullets fly, in the space of seconds, a life you cannot buy. Face the facts before you, face the simple truth. We're hopelessly outnumbered, it's tragic but it's true. Make your last formation, take the final road. Now it's time for endings, now it's time to go.
What's going on, everyone? Hello, peoples, wonderful peoples of the internet. It is good to see everyone today. Welcome. Hello, Lego. What's up, Gray? I will talk about Tin Man games in just a moment. Hello, Kilobyte. What's going on, Roix? What is up? Who else did I see popping in here? Mining Miner. Hello, Shadowed Mage. What's up, Adam Maniac? And I think I already said hi to Kilobyte. Hello, everyone. What's up, Arcades? Good to see everyone today. I hope everyone is doing well. And as you can tell from that awesome-looking picture that you see, this is the stream of House of Hell. But more specifically, it's the stream for Tin Man Games, and I'm going to introduce them in just a moment. Before I do that, let me get rid of this, and let me get rid of this, and let me put on this. Hey, there I am. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good to see everyone today in the channel. And hello, Jedi Knight. It is a pleasure to have everybody here. This is going to be a fun stream, and it's going to be fun largely because these folks that I'm about to introduce are responsible for converting something which was deeply influential on me as a kid. The Dungeons & Dragons was the big thing when I was young, but I have to say that the big thing about D&D is that if you didn't have anyone to play it with, and and I grew up an only child and lonely. No, but I mean, D&D was a thing that you could do once a week when you could get friends together. But in between, what were you going to do? It was certainly not going to be homework. And so what I was doing instead at the time was I was looking for other things to do, and I read a lot and stuff like that. But I also got into the fighting fantasy game books, and from a very early age, I played through, and I still have like 21 original ones, which, as you folks know in chat, is something that we've been playing through. And this is actually the book that was the United States version that I have here, the House of Hades. That was the Steve Jackson one right there. And as it happens, I happened to run into someone at the Origins convention in Columbus a couple of months ago named Dylan Bertolo, who's a friend of mine, who's a writing friend. And he happens to know the wonderful people, Neil Renison and his crew at Tin Man Games. And in turn, I was able to talk to Neil, and Neil got something set up. And so I am very, very pleased to finally bring them back on stream. And I am pleased to introduce two people to you all today. Ben Kosmina, and who's the lead producer and senior game editor and lead QA, both from Tin Man Games, Kamina Vincent. To both of you, hello. And hi. Hello to everybody. And I guess you are going to hear that. I just unmuted you in Skype, so you're going to hear a very bizarre echo situation on Twitch. Sorry. But anyway, I just introduced you, so welcome to both of you.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
And I'm going to make sure I capture their video as well. So can we get some love for people? There's the applause. I like it, Eric. Can we get some love for them in chat? You better give them some love because they gave you 8 games to give away. So, I better see some gratitude. Okay, studio applause.
Goddamn gratitude.
Gratitude. All right, so I'm going to capture their video. So I want to start out. So thank you guys so much, Ben and Cam, for joining me. And I want to start out by asking, before we get into the game itself a little bit, I want to ask about how you guys ended up here, because this to me sounds incredibly awesome. And I want to ask how it happened for each of you that you got involved doing your respective tasks with Tin Man. And whichever one of you wants to go first, I'm happy to take.
Sure.
You've got hide first.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I was working on and off again with Tin Man in the same office, in their older office, and I was doing some QA work for them and helping out, and we kind of knew each other through other channels as well.
Okay.
Then we had a government grant come along, which was called the Screen Enterprise Grant, I think it was.
Screen Australia Enterprise Funding.
Yeah, okay, you know the whole thing.
Oh.
But yeah, and it was that enabled them to hire on some more people and help us expand. And so I came on at the initial time when that grant came along, and so I came on as a producer, and yeah, so that's pretty much how I became part of Tin Man.
Can I ask before I get Cam's answer on this? You said through other channels. Could you elaborate? I mean, was it through writing channels? Was it through computer design channels, game channels? What were the channels?
We have meetings in Melbourne. IGDA, what's that? What does it stand for?
International Game Developers Association.
Ah, okay.
And it's the Australia the Melbourne chapter of that. So it's like meetups. Yeah, you can visit.
Yay!
Yeah. And it's
I've got a thing coming out of my head. It always happens in photos and holidays. Anyway, continue.
This is totally normal. Yeah, and so there's a whole lot of the local game developer community which meets up there, and so yeah, we've known each other for a while now.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. What about you, Cam?
I was actually my paths are kind of weird. I kind of went to uni to study Japanese, and then personal things happened and I couldn't quite continue that, and then I split up with my boyfriend. My friend who lived in Melbourne, I was living in Canberra. Yeah, I should. Anyway, he was like, come do this games degree course. So I applied, had a month to moved down, started going to the IGDA meetings, and then was made redundant from my call center job. And Tin Man was like, hey, we've got a position open from the same funding. And I was like, sweet. And so I came aboard. Also, I'm really good at breaking things, so that kind of works really well.
Astoundingly good at breaking stuff.
You guys seemed all very too rigid and serious, so I couldn't believe there'd be any accidents there ever. It just seems like well-oiled machine from the beginning, which is good for Tin Man. So let me ask then. I want to ask a little bit about this grant, and then I want to get into the game specifically. But so for the grant side, because I understand there's also game grants that I've heard of for people in Canada, for example, who are using these for game development, particularly like in the board game side. So, was that Neil basically that had, applied for it and got this massive grant that was able to get a whole bunch of people involved, or not? And the reason that they're looking up, by the way, Chad, is that they're in this room. I gather, as I understand, it's like this goldfish setup where they basically have all these people who are staring in at them and trying to make them laugh. So, which is just, terrible. Smiling, laughing people are so bad for streaming. I can't even tell you. No, so I mean, so I guess the grant. So was Neil the one who kind of applied for that, and because it seems amazing that you guys were able to get that kind of a start, and then obviously you've made it stick. So
because initially Tin Man was Neil and Ben, the other Ben, Ben Britton. So they were ones that applied for that together so they could expand the company. Yeah. I believe they would have worked together.
Yeah.
They're like work together on everything, and just like even though Neil is currently in the UK, they work together to make sure that they're like pretty much communicating all the time, so that there's nothing, no miscommunication or anything like that.
Right. And you guys have had an incredible response to this, from what I can gather. At least I don't know if it's more. Maybe we'll have a chance to chat more about this part of it, but I don't know if there's more in the Android versus the iOS community or what. But it seems like you've gotten a very good response, in the mobile community generally. Is that fair to say to these things?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be going well. It's nice that we've. Our engine is on Unity as well, because it means that we can bring it to so many different platforms.
Right.
We can bring whereas before our earlier books were they're all done natively through Apple's I don't know, programming stuff.
Okay.
Ben would know more about this, but we changed engines, and as a result of that, we've been able to bring stuff across to Android a lot closer to the same time as iOS stuff, which is great for people who don't have iOS phones. We can make sure that both of those markets have got the game at the same time, which is great.
Yeah, I have a game of mine that's being done in parallel development with a graphic novel that's being released in a few months, and it's going to be done in the Unity engine. And the guy who's designing the game more or less said the same thing. Unity is amazing. It's great. I can do all this stuff. It broadens the field. So I've heard Unity over and over again from people. I'm not a programmer, but that's what I've heard. So
quite a few people we're in a shared office space. There's quite a few developers.
It's like 40 of us, 10 companies or so.
Yeah, and so many of them are using Unity. It's just great to it's great to see, and it's like really easy for us to all communicate with each other and get advice off each other and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, Eric in my chat says Windows Phone. I don't know what to tell you, Eric. I don't know. Windows has got some work to do. Microsoft's got some work to do, I think, getting it.
I had a Windows Phone for about a year, and coming back to I break things, and it was amazing. Occasionally I'd throw it to prove how great it was because I couldn't break it, and it was pink.
And you broke it.
Well, no, but I didn't crack it. I didn't crack the screen. It just stopped turning on one day because I hadn't thrown it for several days. So I think it was feeling a little left out.
Right.
So it sort of gave up silently is what it did. I see.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't deal with you anymore.
I see. Is there any chance, or is there any thought about releasing these for PC-specific platforms, trying to bring them over through Steam or something of that kind, or no?
Do you mean, sorry, when you say the...
releasing the book. I mean, releasing the books and the other stuff. Since you're working on the Unity engine, I would assume you could theoretically bring it to PC, maybe, or no?
Well, unfortunately, it's a lot to do with rights and things like that. There's nothing really we can say at the moment. But yeah, I suppose in theory we could just talk to Steve and Ian and say, we'd like to see these on PC or Mac and all that, and we can certainly do it.
I see. So it's not a technical limitation; it's more of a rights limitation.
Making sure that they're all okay with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys have your chat. You got your marching orders. We'll get more people in over the course of the hour. So go tell Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone what the deal is. I've been on a panel with the other Steve Jackson, who actually, and I think the other Steve Jackson, who's not the Steve Jackson who wrote House of Hell, who's the Steve Jackson who wrote the Scorpion Swamp, which I think is book 8 or something like that. So he seems like a nice guy, but he probably has no connection at all with these. So this is a useless tangent. But anyway,
no.
But anyway, okay. But
anyway.
There's the technical ability. We just need to get the will in there to do it. Is that? I mean, I know you don't want to go into great detail about it. Is that something that you guys, your studio, would be excited to do if you had the chance? I mean, if you would. Yeah. Okay.
We're quite happy to bring all of our stuff onto us. Make it accessible to as much as we can. I mean. That's it was great to be able to get onto Humble with all of these with our game books. They were really receptive, easy to work with, and to talk to. They're really good.
Yeah, Humble has gotten a lot of very good responses from people about many things. So they're good people over there. Let me ask one last thing before I switch over to another screen and we start playing through, and I can ask you some details about how these are done. So lead producer as opposed to senior game editor, lead QA. Now I know you said in this book that we're about to play, the House of Hell one, that you did some QA work, Ben. So I want to know. I'm sure the answer is going to be we do everything that everybody needs us to do all the time. But nonetheless, tell me what a lead producer, give me a day in the life of.
What am I doing now?
Yes.
Basically, yeah. Okay,
besides chatting with me.
Everything.
Yeah.
So on Fear, I'm currently editing, doing some rewrites to make sure that it fits with the new engine, because new engine is all. I don't know if you've seen how Fear is being presented, but it looks more comic, more like a comic book, stylized and presented like a comic book.
As we speak, I'm holding up the cover to what he's talking about. This is Appointment with Fear, Fear, which is book 17, superheroes, and we'll get to it at some point. Black cover book, which was awesome.
It's going to be really cool. Yeah.
Vintage 85 technology or whatever. But anyway, okay, so there's a lot of different mechanics you have to put into play, so you need to think about that.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I also do communicate with artists and musicians and sound people, or do the sound myself when there's when I can't get in touch with someone to do it. Back and forth with Neil, back and forth with Ben regarding programming stuff. See if we can get, I ask if we can get programming things happening, and he'll either say no or yes.
Sorry, I got distracted by fighting about Star Wars.
I just noticed your face is propaganda, all caps. Are you arguing with my guests already? Really? Is that how this goes down?
See, this is what happens when I don't watch.
This is what happens when no one keeps an eye on me. It's like when I went to the States, I kept arguing with bouncers and trying to pick fights with them in a lovely way. I never got kicked out of a bar.
That's great.
I think I started a fight with one because his docs were a slightly different shade of red to my docs.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he essentially gave me the bouncer version of a pat on the head. He was like, there, dear, I'm twice your size.
Excellent. I'm sorry, Ben. I did not mean to derail. I just want to make sure no one was getting into fights with you on chat.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the kind of stuff I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has that shifted? I mean, over time, have you found yourself kind of gravitating towards one particular section of things, or taking on more things, letting other things go, as the staff has grown or not grown? I mean, I'm just curious how it's changed.
It really depends from book to book.
Okay.
Like, the good thing about having Kamina along, for example, is that I can push stuff over to her and say, hey, you can do all of this. It's responsibility.
Delegation is the role of a good producer.
That's
right,
it.
Okay.
But it's also good because it means that we can tackle more books simultaneously, rather than doing one book and then passing it over and checking it again and
right.
So on. But yeah, So it allows us for a lot more simultaneous production, which is really good.
How big is the staff, by the way? I mean, how many people do you have at Tin Man, roughly speaking, would you say?
We have
5.5.
5.5. Yeah, sure. Why not?
We've got 4 in our office, Neil and Emma.
Yeah,
Who's
Emma's
part-time.
That's right.
Okay.
Emma's Neil's wife.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's interesting. All right, well, that leads me perfectly then to ask you, Cam. Other than picking up whatever's thrown at you by Ben, what does it mean to be a senior game editor and lead QA? What does that like in practice mean for doing one of these things, and how has that changed?
I came on like 7 months ago, so essentially I was brought on as QA because of my great ability to break everything. So I get to play through the games very thoroughly and check every single section is working, which is a lot of fun. It means I do know how to finish quite a few games in 15 minutes or less if I don't read.
Okay.
Editing is start of the book. So when we first put it in and like go through and check the grammar, check all the sections work, and especially changing from paper format to digital.
Yeah,
is
there's some weird stuff like
roll 300 dice on this one section. It's like, well, we can't do that because someone's just going to sit there tapping the iPad for like whatever device for like 20 years, and it's like no fun.
Yes, they would. They would do that. Yes, they would.
I was just going to say what is fun in the book can sometimes not necessarily be fun, and like in an adaptation.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure it flows better digitally than it does on print and things like that. Just making sure story fits, works.
Fitting is important.
Fitting's always important.
So at the risk of getting you guys in trouble with each other or Neil or the rest of the crew, are there times when you have disagreements about what fits and doesn't? I mean, have you had a situation, Cam, where you're like, that does not work, and Ben's like, are you nuts? And she's like, and it breaks her phone, or, I mean, how does it all, what goes down that way?
Well, being QA and breaking everything, I tend to get a lot of yelling about how I keep breaking the book.
But then positive, like then we continue breaking it, because if we don't find out this stuff, that's much worse. But we just need to vent.
Yeah, there's a lot of, oh God, Cam, not again. Why are you doing this? For like 5 minutes. Like,
so you were hired for your ability to break. I mean, that really was like the lead line on the resume, right?
That's pretty much.
Like, I break ATMs, I've broken computers, phones.
Yeah, the ATM was impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, myself. I break myself a lot now that I have a bike. Breaking the ATM was my favorite, I have to say. Especially because I did get my money back. That was helpful.
So your arguments, so they're all sort of good natured about it, even though they're frustrated with you. They're like, thank you, but no thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
We are like, one big happy family of like, we'll go get a tea together and be like, no, you're doing a good job. I just wish you weren't so efficient at finding all these things.
Yes, finding broken things. Are there still are there games that have come out and books that have come out that you don't have to tell me which ones or what they are, where after release you discovered, oh God, that there was something that someone discovered or some problem, or have you stamped out the bugs before they arrive?
Our readers are actually really good like that, because we have a submission and feedback form where people can get in contact with us, and so the good thing about that is people sometimes do get in contact with us and provide us really detailed information.
Okay.
And rather than submitting like a really nasty review, they say like, here's a problem. I'm having trouble getting through here. And it's like, okay, that's great. We'll fix that for you. Some of them, there's two kinds of fixes we can do. One is like just editing in the actual game engine we use, which is called Mercury Mouse, which is where we do all of our book editing.
Okay.
Those are very easy to push out.
It just comes as an update.
Yeah, so that's really, mostly for like typos and things like that, or if a link is like broken and doesn't go to the right section or something like that. And those are very, very quick fixes that we can like push out instantly, and the next time you open up the app, you'll get the update.
Okay.
There's some other ones. These are less frequent now. Which are actual Unity fixes which need to be done. And if it's one of those, we need to push out a new build to Apple or to Google or whatever, and then you need to re-download that, get the newest version of that. less, but yeah.
Actually, I played House of Hell for the first time the other day just to get myself familiar with it. I found a bug. It's a game breaker.
Ooh.
Thanks for that.
So I know which page it's on. I'm not going to tell you, just in case we never encounter it, and I can quickly go off and fix it.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Very
It's
nice.
a challenge, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's our job now. Now we have to go find the game-breaking bug and make it like break the fourth wall repeatedly. Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Okay, cool. That's good to know. All right, well that's neat. Well, let's actually get into playing a little bit then. Let me switch over scenes here, and then let's see. There we are, lovely. And I will move this down a little bit.
Sorry.
And let me just get my little scroll bar going. Bear with me for just one moment, so I can
Sounds
actually
terrible.
tell these people who these are.
Oh, that's a nice collection of Darth Vader. Sounds really weird.
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to.
Fellas without an R. I edit good.
Generally, with Twitch, should we have the
Start watching.
the start watching going? Will that slow down our?
It might.
Yeah.
So Australia has this thing where they don't like technology at the moment. And they actually got rid of the plan for super fast internet for all of Australia. So sometimes our internet might be a bit slow.
Ah,
It's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's our government.
Shortly, okay. The long and short of it is, at the moment we don't have the Twitch stream going because we've left it off to make sure that it's that we're not lagging or anything like that. So if we start to lag, it might be because the Twitch stream is going.
okay. Yeah.
So let us know if we're starting to be like
Super laggy.
yeah, and we'll turn off the Twitch stream. So we've just got Skype instead.
I was going to say, and this is why I don't play online games, but that's a lie. I just don't play because I suck at games.
we
Well, I
actually.
can't-
Wait, you suck at games? Is that now? Is that an official company? Like, is that typical knowledge? They know that you.
Oh no, it's just me. I mean, I suck at walking in a straight line, so walls jump out at me.
I see.
Just
Yeah, I don't know how you get through a day actually.
Well, so my boyfriend bought me a bike for my birthday about 5 months ago. I have had 2 car accidents and I've fallen off it twice. And then the 1 month I was like, screw this, I'm not riding my bike. I don't want another accident. I got bit by a dog. It's like I'm averaging an accident a month. This
You
sucks.
didn't get bit by a dog.
No, it jumped at me.
That dog was the size of a horse.
I know, I really like those dogs.
You don't go petting random dogs.
Yes, you do. I've never had a problem patting random animals until that time.
So you have.
Yeah, I turned up to the office.
Okay,
Like, we're derailing.
yes.
No. That's quite all right. You're not derailing. I'm actually just getting the text going. So feel free to continue the story about the dog as I get this set.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to people.
Do you want to try I was going to try starting Twitch.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, let me know that would actually be a good thing, just so you can see
Yeah.
what we're chatting about.
Thank you.
All right.
Failed to the video. Okay.
Yeah, you should never fail Vader. He's like totally awesome.
Now I think I have this working properly. All right, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Dingo ate my Milky Way.
Well, you've already broken Cam, Eric. So good
There you
work.
go.
Well done. Oh goodness.
All right. This is what happens when I drink coffee.
Yeah,
Coffee and I get along really well for about 20 minutes if you like hyperactivity, and then I will fall asleep and laugh. Yeah.
Then we will endeavor to keep that in mind as we go through.
We'll actually
Okay.
see that quite soon because 20 minutes are nearly up.
No, I can power on through the power of people and terrible jokes about dingoes.
Yeah, sadly, my chat is very well known for. We tend to like terrible puns. Sad tuba illness, exactly.
Oh,
Terrible puns and
yeah.
things like that, and so yeah. And we do have we have some Australian watchers as well, and one guy that I play a D&D Twitch stream with, who complains about the state of Australian internet. So I hear you about that.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to? Is it all right? I mean, it seems to be okay on our end. Are you guys watching it okay? I mean, so
I'm
far.
I'm just going to refresh.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens if that happens.
Go ahead and refresh. Let me know if it's up functioning. Okay.
Yeah. Also, people are starting to get into the office now, so
So
I
this
can
will
run
happen more.
No, that's
get
okay.
them up.
Um,
Loading.
Loading's good.
No, still loading. I don't know why I got so excited.
Still
Should we-
loading, huh? Let me see.
Yeah,
I
might
want-
do that.
Yeah.
Just click it. Yeah.
I'm gonna mute the volume and wait for it to load.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a way that I can do this. Chat, do you guys know, is there an Australian proxy I could send them to instead, or is it just a European
Well-
proxy? There probably isn't.
It's all good. We can just use our imagination.
Yeah.
Okay, as I kind of go through this. All right, well let me pop up the music here. Let's get that going. Sound effects and
Loading. I wonder if I could get a tea delivered to the room.
there we go.
That would calm me down.
I like the, by the way, I like the Michael Myers Halloween piano playing in the background of this
Okay.
particular one. That was excellent. Now, you guys, as you said, you didn't have as much work with this. We're playing this just because it happens to fit in with the other sort of game book structure. But there are similar things. You mentioned the sort of different mechanic in Fear. But as I start to play this one, maybe we can talk a little bit about sort of what's involved soup to nuts. Like let's leave the originals aside for a moment. So for for something where you're basically transcribing paper book form that already exists to this, what do you have to do? I mean, what's involved for you in doing that on a typical book of this type?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, generally, what we have to do first thing is go through the book and look at any particular sections that are going to really be a problem.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but usually
Actually-
what I do is like the first pass through the book is I'll click through every single section in order,
I'll be back
edit
in
it,
just a
format it. Oh God, what am I going to do?
minute. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I could be a strong woman. Sorry. So yeah, I'll go through, edit it, make sure paragraphs are working correctly and all the rest. And then I'll flag sections that might cause a bit of difficulty, like roll a skill roll, but it has to be -2 and things like that. And
Okay.
then start picking it up as I go through it. So it makes it a bit easier. And like if I can't do something, then I'll send it on to the programmer or Ben because he's been here a bit longer, so he knows what he's doing. And slowly and surely I will learn.
I see. And so over time, less stuff goes to them
Yeah.
of that sort. Okay, I see. Okay, and then the House of Hell particular one here, which is a little bit different because you have this whole fear, not appointment with fear, but fear mechanic,
Yeah.
where you can be frightened to death.
Yeah.
And so when you guys were setting it up, I mean, this is one of the early ones that you did, and I'm curious about why, because you guys said that you've done these, you did your own originals, you've done these, but you didn't do them from just book 1 and up, and I'm wondering how you decided the order in which to tackle them. I mean, why not, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, or is it just what you thought was coolest first, or what Neil thought was coolest, or Ben?
I
Or...
think it's I can't confirm, but I think it's a combination of Neil, Ian, and Steve deciding what they think is best to start with.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. This is by the way our copy of House of Hell.
Ah, yes, that was the UK one. or I should say it was the, oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah, so that's
Wow, post-it notes galore.
They're color coded somehow. I don't remember, but I think like one thing like these are the fights, and another one like these are sections that are going to be impossible to program, and yeah, there's all sorts of fun things. So yeah.
Wow, my goodness. Are there parts that you kind of are like, yeah, no? Like what is the sort of deciding characteristic where you're like, there's no way to get this part or this section, or have you been able to come up with ways to overcome most challenges that these books provide, or not?
Firewolf is probably a good example of things we had to change.
Oh, we had to completely overhaul that. Yeah, Firewolf has this weird.
Just because it wouldn't play well, like.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah.
the fun thing about Firewolf is the story, and unfortunately,
I love the story.
the story's great, but
brilliant.
the original combat was kind of designed as like, let's just make this as hard as possible. People are going to skip it anyway, and that's okay for a book where you can just go like, I'll just flick to whatever. But when it's an actual game and it needs to function, it's a bit more of a problem.
Okay.
And
okay.
so we need to make sure that things are more balanced and work properly. And so we had to completely overhaul the combat system. There was this weird sort of thing where you'd multiply scores by 8 or the entire score by 8 or something.
Everything up, and then you'd roll a skill or a skill and luck added together times by 8, and if your dice roll was less than that, then you'd passed.
Oh my
And it was
God.
just like times this by 10, and it's like
So, and also like there were like 10 different stats or something for Firewolf, and trying to display all of those on like a stat sheet is just impossible. So some have been merged, some have been removed, just for simplicity and so that people are not completely overwhelmed by the fact that.
And this was, you said Firewolf? Is this one of the later the?
Oh, it's so what it. Give me. So,
geez, so demanding.
Yes.
Sagas
of the Demon Spawn was what it was originally called.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, sorry.
So this is an entirely different series. I see. Okay, not in the same crew.
Doing all 4 of those books in one app.
Compendium.
And
Okay. I thought I was about to turn in my Fighting Fantasy nerd cred card. I was like, I don't remember what that was. Okay, I see. So was that series just released originally in UK and Australian markets, or was it, or what markets was it released in? Do you know?
No, it's by the guy that did Grail Quest. I don't know if you.
Okay, yeah, vaguely. Yeah, vaguely. I do remember that.
So, yeah, it's quite funny.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same sort of relatively standard system that Fighting Fantasy uses, and that's one of the reasons you had to overhaul it.
Skill, stamina, and luck, which is actually quite good in that aspect, because you at least know that there's going to be that kind of standard, and combat is nice because it's always going to be like you versus another person, and both stuff happens at the same time.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just play anyway.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff. All right, well, so let's see, chat. So we are, so again, House of Hell, choose from 1 of 3 difficulty settings. So I looked at this last night. By the way, I'm running this through BlueStacks, which is a Android emulator on the PC, but I did in fact buy House of Hell, so it does exist in my Google Play account. And let me tell you, I took a little time to figure out how to get this set up in tablet orientation, so that I could play a mobile game on my 23-inch widescreen monitor, because that's logical, because that makes sense in our world. So, but I did manage to do that, Chad. I just want you to know. And we're going to be playing hardcore mode, because the first sentence says, "Play House of Hell exactly how Steve Jackson designed it," and hell yeah,
I'm so
because
sorry.
come on, I mean.
I was going to say, whenever I'm testing, I cheat.
You cheat all the time? Well, there is a cheat. Wait, I want to ask about that. There's a cheat function built in, because you can literally hit it and make the dice bump above the book. And re-roll, which I didn't even realize that was intentional. I thought, wait a minute, I think you made it on purpose. So you guys intentionally cheated this way. Really?
Everyone cheats.
I cheat worse. I'm going to go grab our tablet, because we can't get the video to stream, so we can go
that's
through
a
the
good
book
idea.
as well.
So we can,
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm so sorry the video isn't working. That's too bad. But you guys are able to see the chat at least. So that yes, okay.
Yeah, that's right. We can see you guys, but we just can't see the game.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, at least I've got House of Hell.
Okay.
With me, so
all right, so let's see. So hardcore mode, House of Hell, nothing has been changed. Starting skill is calculated by rolling 1d6 plus 6 with a -3 modifier added at the beginning of the adventure due to being unarmed. And then stamina is 2d6 plus 12. Starting luck is 1d6 plus 6. And then you have this fear value that it says 1d6 plus 6. Now, you said, Ben, that you had done some QA on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you talk about working on this particular book, or?
So one thing I do remember about this one.
You laughing at?
Glass door.
I don't think anyone should run through an office going boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop.
One thing I do remember about House of Hell is that it has an impossible loop that you can get through, which is by design. So no, it's got two impossible loops. So like you can get stuck permanently in these kind of areas. So that's a fun thing to look out for.
Fun thing for looking at loops. Nice.
Yeah. I remember initially coming across that and calling calling the guys over. I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. They're like, no, that's fine.
As all
It's meant to be like that.
It'll work that way. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. And that's just to be distinguished from the bug that you found, Cam. The bug is not one of the internal loops. No, something else.
You
Okay.
get an achievement for the loop. You don't get an achievement for this bug.
I see. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we're going to calculate skill. Now, chat, the way this is going to work is, normally when I do the Sorcery Project stuff, you guys get to do dice rolling, you get to do everything. Here, it's going to be a little different. You guys can pick names, you'll make decisions, but as far as combat and stuff, I'll be handling that here because that way we get to see the combat system involved. So if there are bad rolls, it is not Lego's fault, it's not Kilobyte's fault, it's not Wyvol's fault, it's not any of our normal rollers' fault, and it sure as hell isn't my fault. It's it's the cheating people that made this cheating game. It's their fault. All right, let's see what our skill is.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. I don't want a 2. Instead, I got a 6. So now I have a 12 because, of course,
That's why we have the option.
the option.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
just sending up us, so we're cheating.
Yeah, that way we'll be able to follow where you go.
Actually, yeah.
It's Kamina's fault, Eric says. I don't think it's Cam's fault. All right, now starting stamina. I like that. That works. 22, and then luck.
I don't know which one I've already done like 3 times.
No. We need to be like, no, I didn't hit it right. Darn it. We only have 8. My cheating failed. All right, fear. All right, let's see how afraid I am. Oh, we're not afraid. 12 fear. What's up? Not
Ooh,
afraid
yeah.
at all. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yep. So we are not afraid of things. It's actually my
Fear-
fault since I set up the interview. Yes, that's true, Lego. Enough with your technicalities, Lego. Oh, goodness. All right. Now, the other thing is I'll try to read through some of this, not all of it, so you guys don't have to listen to me. But one thing I wanted to ask was when you guys are deciding about what things will bring this to life and how to keep it true to the book, part of making a video game, of course, is that it's got to have things that are, well, video game-like, that, things
Yes.
that move, sound effects, and so on. But if you overdo it, then you've got essentially the old Death Trap Dungeon video game, which was its own thing, but it clearly really wasn't Death Trap Dungeon. So I'm curious about what your sort of design principles are. I mean, how do you think okay, now I know that this is ready to be a book as opposed to a game that is sort of like it, but not really, hasn't had the feel that we want it to have. Do you have an overriding principle or not?
Well, up until now, our game books have really been like trying to stick to the original book as much as possible. We have our current books, which have got like the retro mode, which makes it look literally like an old book, with all that kind of stuff. So all that kind of art and those horrible things.
Yep.
I mean terrifying things, not horrible. All the dividers and all that kind of stuff are placed through the book to keep with the feel of the game. We have the original art recolored, except in I think only Starship Traveler has been the only one where that wasn't something we could do, so we had to get completely new art. But Starship Traveler was it had a big overhaul for that anyway, because it was a bit different.
Okay.
Another Steve Jackson one.
Yes. Yes, the chat had fun with that one. That was Star Trek for the win, basically.
Yeah, that's it. I really liked how we were able to like custom name all your crew and have them all fall down into volcanoes and stuff. That
yes.
was nice.
That's right.
Yeah, but really the main thing with the original ones is we were trying to make them feel like like you had a book in your hand, but you didn't have to like carry the dice around with you or keep track of all the stats and do all that kind of stuff. So all the busy work was done for you, rather than you have to constantly note down everything and do all that stuff.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, let me get through. Let me play just a little bit of this, and then I want to ask you about the differences between the originals that you guys do and sort of the difference between those. But I'll read. Let me see. I'll read a few of these. I don't want to do all of this chat as I normally do. Normally, I read all of this. I'm an author, so I'm a sucker for reading stuff. But I'm not going to do all of that in this particular case. But
Sure.
But let's see. What sort of nonsense is this? You've taken a wrong turn and got caught in a downpour in the night. The rain will ease off soon. It can't possibly keep up this deluge for long, and then you'll be able to... Watch out! You spin the wheel frantically to the left to avoid the figure who, from nowhere, shows up in the headlights with the sign, "I know what you did last summer." No, I made that part up. The car bumps and jolts as it bounces over the rocky roadside and thumps into a ditch. You collect your thoughts. You are unhurt but shaken. Then you remember what has happened. The body. You must have hit the figure that appeared. There is no way you could have avoided him. You spring out of the car, praying that he is still alive. Your clothes soak up the rain as you hobble back to the road. In the darkness, it is difficult to see anything, but there is no sign of a body. I'm going to assume that Jedi Knight took the body. I don't know why. I'm just going to guess that happened. You consider the situation. Are you certain that it was someone and not a trick of the light? Yes. You can remember the arms held up in fright as the car collided and the look of anguish on his face. His face? There was something familiar about that face. A man you recognized. An old man with white hair. Your heart leaps. No, impossible. With a shiver of fear, you race back to the car, jump inside, force the key into the ignition, and twist it violently. I love that that's an exclamation point. Violently, you twist it. The starter coughs, sputters, and dies. You hit the key again, but this time a single shutter is all the engine can manage. You grasp the wheel with your hands and shake it desperately as if to force some life into the car. As you all know, the horror movie inverse is that the more danger that you're in and the more you need a car to start, the less likely that will be the case. This is why in romantic comedies, cars always start instantaneously with no problems. Horror movies, cars suck. They just don't manage anything right. All right, so your car is in trouble. You passed a garage at Mingleford that was 20 miles away, and so you have to go find yourself at this house, and someone has switched on a bedroom light. What a stroke of luck. It was at least 15 miles back you passed the last house, and you happen to have broken down just a short distance from someone's home. All right, so you head over there, slam the door, turn up your collar, set off for the house. A flash of lightning lights it clearly up for you, but in your preoccupation with the rain, the warning from above is wasted on you. The house is old, very old, in a shocking state of repair. The light in the window is flickering, most likely an oil lamp, certainly not electric. And you don't notice a fact that might have turned you back anyway. There's no telephone line going to the house. That's something which we wouldn't have cared about these days. You would have assumed cell phones. As you climb the steps to the front door, little do you realize what fate has in store for you. Tonight is going to be a night to remember. Okay, now here's one of these fully colored illustrations here. So let me ask about that. So all of these are original illustrations which were colored, or some of them are original, like soup to nuts, line drawing as well?
All original.
I see. Okay. So for the coloration part, you had to get someone special to do that? Did you have to get, I assume, specific rights to be allowed to do the colorizing, or did the rights that you got cover all of it from the beginning?
The rights, from what I understand, the rights that we got covered colorization as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When we got the license, we got the approval to use the illustrations as well. But I am not 100% sure on that. So
okay.
Just take it with a grain of salt. I may not be right.
No, that's neat though. What's up, Benny Hill? Hello to everyone who's come in. You guys are here with me, listening to Ben Kosmina and Kamina Vincent, talking about their work at Tin Man Games. Ben is lead producer, and Cam is senior game editor and lead QA at Tin Man, and they do a lot of these lovely books, including this one, House of Hell, that you folks are looking at. Hi, Lakota, Gray Dybbuk also, and yeah, you found many ways to make Kamina laugh. That's mission successful. Excellent. My chat is nothing but not persistent. No, they're also really cool people. So I love my chat. They're good people. Yes. Let's see. All right. So you climb the creaking steps up to the front door. By the way, that illustration looks totally normal. I don't see any reason why anyone would be afraid at all of anything in that house.
I'd go into that house.
Oh no, I mean for sure. Let's see.
You never know. Appearances are deceiving. Don't judge a book by its cover. It might be.
Or indeed this cover.
Yes. That's good.
I don't know. Sometimes I get in trouble for being too trusting of people because strange things happen. But
let's see. All right, no lights around downstairs. You step back off the porch to check the upstairs window, which attracted your attention earlier. Nothing, no lights. The whole place seems to be deserted. But then you remember the time, 5 minutes to midnight. Of course it is. That's the other thing in a horror movie. The car never breaks down at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Never happens. No. It's always midnight.
Actually, in Melbourne, that'd be coming on to dusk. So it's perfect time for your car to break down.
All right,
also,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Let's see. Everyone in the house has probably gone to bed. An owl hoots in the distance and a shiver runs down your spine. And then in one of the more delightful understatements of the book, the situation is a little scary. And then summarizes why. Here you are in the middle of nowhere at some strange rundown old house about to wake up whoever lives inside at midnight. Yes, Self, this is a scary moment. I agree. They certainly won't be too pleased, but you have no choice if you're going to make your appointment tomorrow. You must reach a telephone to call for help. You step up to the front door. From the left-hand side of the house, a dull glow catches your attention. A light has been turned on. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least someone is awake. You consider your options. There's an elaborate knocker in the middle of the door and a bell pull hanging down to the right. All right, chat, here we go. First decision. Will you wrap the door with the knocker? Will you pull the cord? Or will you creep around the house to investigate the light? Now, normally I have a very slick poll-taking system and all that stuff, but I can't do that with this setup as well. So we will go by the old-fashioned method of simply voting in chat. What's it going to be, chat? Wrap the door with a knocker, pull the cord, or creep around the house to investigate the light? Now I wait for the 400-second delay from Joyce.
Yeah.
All right, Lakota says creep. One vote for creep. Adam says knock.
Accident prone.
All right, Lakota says creep. Adam says wrap the door with a knocker. Sounds pretty kinky. Okay. What else we got? Jedi says wrap the door.
Wrap the door with a knocker. Am I just being naive and innocent here?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, that's what they all. Well, no, some people already commented. I hear a tapping as if someone generally rapping at my chamber door. Yes. Quoth the Eric, nevermore. I know. Creep, knock, creep. All right, so it looks like no one. It looks like people. I guess a few people don't. Nobody wants the bulb. But what we've learned is no one likes doorbells. I think that's what we can confirm.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for creep. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for knocking. All right, I'll close this down in a second. 5 for creeping, 4 for knocking. 5 for creeping, 4 for knocking. Anyone else? 7,000 second delay. Going once. It's actually not that bad tonight, but especially when they're running one of their big League of Legends tournaments, or it can get rough. All right, so it looks like people are in favor of creeping. All right, creep it is. Let's see.
Creep.
Yeah,
oh wait! Gray got into knock. Oh no! So it's tied. It's tied. It's tied. Yeah, no, it's too late. All right, I need a tiebreaker. Whoever gets the next vote is getting this win. Who's it going to be? Knock or creep? Whatever it is, knock or creep. Knocker's in honor of young Frankenstein. Hillness says knock. Okay, so knock it is. Here we go.
I like creeping. Creeping is so much cooler.
Nope. They came in. I must listen to the will of the people.
Oh yeah, it's totally fine. I just believe in sneaking around the back of people's houses before
Yeah.
I fucking think about them.
That's right. I did think about doing straw polls, Adam, but I don't know whether I have time to do that. I guess when we do one of these, what I could do is I could have someone put up a straw poll quickly, especially if it's a big decision. So we'll do that for that next time. Wait, you voted twice, Hillness? You did vote twice. What the heck, man? You voted for knock and creep. I'm just gonna assume it was knock, because I can't go back now. Can I? There's no way to go back in a page, is there? There's no way.
It's hardcore.
Yeah, hardcore, right. This is what you get, Hillness. Hardcore cheating from Hillness. Okay. A few moments later, the door handle turns slowly and the door opens. Standing in the doorway is a tall man dressed in a dark suit with tails. His long face is solemn. Yes? He asks indignantly. You smile nervously and explain your situation. Your car is broken down, you need to reach a telephone, and you are soaked to the skin. The man's face remains expressionless. Come in, he orders. The master is expecting you. Follow me. Walk this way. No, he doesn't do that. He leads you into a reception hall and tells you to sit down while he informs his master of your arrival. You sit down in a solid carved chair and look around. The reception hall is certainly not what you would have expected from the outside. His name is not Riff Raff, Eric. I know, I wish. Oh, it's crazy and amazing. Okay. It's elegantly decorated with rich tapestries and fine oak panels. A number of portraits line the walls. A sturdy 16th century table is set against one wall. Very nice. You rang. Yes. All right, so choice now, chat. And if someone can throw together a quick straw poll, great. If not, we'll just do it in chat. Will you wait for your host to arrive? Will you study the paintings? Or will you hunt for a telephone? What's it going to be, guys? Wait for your host to arrive, study the paintings, or hunt for a telephone? At some point in these is always where my chat asks, can we take the painting and conceal ourselves behind it? And this is where I'm like, this is not D&D. You know, like, you just don't have that many options.
No, this is the short answer.
Yeah.
I'd love to see I just had an image of someone walking holding a painting with like little eye
Yeah, oh
holes.
no, they would do it. They would absolutely do it.
I would do it. That would be awesome.
No, absolutely. So what's it going to be, guys? Host to arrive, study the paintings, or hunt for a telephone? Twisted says to wait. Rogan says to wait. Hi to you guys, by the way. People are starting to come in. That's good. All right, we have 2 votes for wait. 2 votes for wait. 2 votes for wait. O'Kieran, what's up, O'Kieran? Says study the paintings. Gray says study the paintings, do the eyes move? That is the question. No, you cannot attack the darkness, Eric. No, you can't do that. 2 for wait, 2 for study so far. 3 for study the paintings.
I've got to stop making facial expressions. Every time there's a decision, I'm just going to run away so you can't see my face.
Oh, because people are, you're like, are you wincing when you, is that what's happening?
It's like, oh no, don't make that choice. Don't run up the stairs.
Don't do that. That's really funny. 4 for study the paintings, 2 for wait. Adam says wait because hosts are sometimes nice. I'm glad to see we've got the hive mind going on, guys. Again, we have an even split, 4-4. And now Eric says to wait. So 5-4, Eric says wait. All right, going once. Going twice.
Wait, that was...
And Hillness, of course, ties it by saying study paintings. But this time he says it's his only vote. And I'm going to hold you to that, Hillness. And Lakota says wait. Okay, I'm going to go with Lakota. So wait slightly outpaces study. So we will wait.
Okay.
Oh, look. See, he looks like a nice enough guy. He's got a red smoking jacket. What could be wrong? Absolutely. All right. Let me do another couple of entries, and then I do want to ask you guys about the original books in comparison. Let's see. Footsteps. Someone is coming. The tall man you met earlier walks in, opening the door for another tall man dressed in a purple smoking jacket. I find that mysterious owners of houses are never below like 6'2". They're always tall. That's just part of the part of the thing.
No, it's like tall, dark, and handsome.
Right.
Tall, creepy.
Tall, dark, and vampire. Anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that way, when the girl's running through the house, she's always a lot shorter.
Yes, exactly. Let's see, and I think it is the 80s. It's so much easier, Adam, as a writer, to write a book that takes place before cell phones. I can't even tell you how much easier that makes it to explain everything. You know?
What's that book that there was? Everyone was getting a virus from their phones, and they had to go switch off the tower or something. It sounds like the movie that was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall that was terrible and vaguely mentioned. Oh, it was a book by some horror dude, big horror dude, writing. I don't know why this indicates horror.
Okay, there's a quotation mark.
No, I've got two. It's like this. Horror.
They're claw marks. They're the horror quotation marks.
Sure.
Yes. And yes, it does look like Hugh Hefner Royx. Yeah, it looks around for Playboy bunnies. Yeah, not quite the same.
Horror bunnies?
I would hope. All right, let's see. May I present Lord Kelnor, the Earl of Druma, the butler announces. The Earl holds out his hand and you shake it. His grip is strong and his eyes pierce yours. His lips widen to a soft smile. You begin to tell him of your predicament, but he holds up his hand. Please, I can see that you've been caught in this filthy storm. Let us sit by the fire and we will see whether we can help. Franklin's, tell the cook to prepare some food for our visitor. I like that Franklin's is actually one guy and not multiple versions of the same butler just running around.
Army of Franklins.
Yes. You protest that you do not wish to be any trouble, but your host ignores you and leads you into a drawing room where a fire is burning. You take off your coat and sit down. Yes. The heat of the fire makes you feel comfortable once more. Franklin's returns with 2 glasses of brandy. I have a feeling I know what chat's going to do with this, but I'll ask anyway. Will you relax, drink the brandy, and ask if you can use the telephone? Or will you wait to see what he asks you? So are you guys going to relax, drink the brandy, and use the telephone, or wait to see what he asks you? What's it going to be, guys? What is your choice? The butler is so badass, he's all the Franklins. Yes.
He's absorbed the power of Franklins.
He's all the Franklins. The Mining Miner says, wait. Of course, Adam says brandy. Twisted says, get drunk. Eric says, get drunk. Yeah, here comes the wave of course, alcohol. Drink, get drunk, drink. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
No, it's just drink the brandy. It's not get drunk. I mean, are you a lightweight?
Difficult weight, bottoms up, turn down for what? Yeah. Yeah, Mining Miner and Grey Dybbuk are the slow voices of reason in this just river of alcoholism that we're going to see here represented. Okay, looks like Chad is strongly in favor of drinking the brandy. I'll wait just a little bit more. Yes, Benny Hill says brandy. Right. There we go. The Alkies have spoken. Yes, they have, Eric. Yes, they have. All right. The fire and brandy warm you, and you begin to feel more relaxed. You lose 1 fear point, but sadly you can't because you can't drop below. Right? You can't have -1 fear. I assume.
Correct.
So okay. So all right. So we're really not afraid now. All right. Before I go on, I do want to ask you folks. So talk to me about the differences between transcribing something like this and an original work. I mean, how do you guys do something from the ground up? How inspired is it by these books? I mean, do you sort of take anything as a general framework, or is it completely... Because I have played The Assassin of Orland, which I liked a lot, by the way, and it struck me as there were a lot of differences. I mean, a lot of things that seemed different from... good in a good way. So I'm just curious how you guys go about doing that as opposed to a, one that already exists.
Yeah, well, I know the combat in particular is quite different.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas with stuff like what was it, fear? I've been wanting fear my whole life. With House of Hell and things like that, it's you'll notice that when you have combat, it happens simultaneously. It's really quick. So it's like you roll the dice, both you and the enemy show their dice, and then it's and then combat. The winner of the combat is decided.
Okay,
Whereas
right.
Something like Assassin, you've got you rolled and they rolled and you rolled and they rolled. It's and you roll for attack and you roll for defense, and it's
and you can do fitness checks in the combat, right? Which is an additional thing. And okay,
I'm not sure. You used to be able to equip armor and things like that. I think you can still do that. Yeah, you can get armor and all sorts of
weapons,
whatnots, and
So who came up with the extra elements like that? I mean, is it a group of you, or does someone what we need is fitness checks? How does that come to play?
Well, and early on, those were all done by Ben and Neil, Ben Britton. So
Okay.
because they're the original foundations for the game books. This was before they had the Fighting Fantasy license. So they were like, well, we like those books, so why not do something similar, because there's nothing like that in the market at the time. And so they did that kind of stuff and tried to make it feel similar to the books, but with their own take on it and their own spin. So there were those kind of differences to make it feel a bit more unique.
Okay, and were there elements that you thought about using that you were like you wanted to implement, but you were like, yeah, this just can't. It didn't. There were too many limitations, or it was going to be too difficult to do it, or?
Yeah, there was some stuff like I think initially with stuff like armor and weapons and things like that, you had to take off one thing and put on another thing and something like that. It used to, you used to be able to be a certain skill level to put on certain bits of armor and stuff like that. I mean, it just was overcomplicating stuff. So it got changed to be, okay, this is the new best armor you've got. It automatically puts on that, just for sanity's sake.
I see. Okay. That's really cool. All right. Well, before we start taking questions from chat, we're going to do our first giveaway. These people were wonderful enough to give us not one, not two. I didn't realize this till I looked again, that there's actually 8 codes to give away, and I think I will allow our guests to decide which one we're going to give away first, or which one of the 4. So basically they gave us 2 codes for each of 4 books. So there is their first one, An Assassin in Orland, which I have played. I can confirm that's a good one. Then there's one called Temple of the Spider God. I have not played that, so I can't say. Then there's Infinite Universe and Zompocalypse Now. So what do you guys, Ben and Cam, what do you guys want to do first for a giveaway?
Sorry, what?
I really love Zompocalypse. It was one of the ones I worked on. It's no dice rolling. There's no dice rolling combat and things like that.
It's straight up story, but it's really funny. It's the end of the world, and you're a zombie. You're
A stuffed bunny.
A stuffed bunny.
On a date, and then zombies come along. And I hate zombies. Well, I love zombies, but I hate zombies. Well, actually, I'm terrified of zombies.
So, and you've got 7 possible ways to live, and the rest are guaranteed deaths.
Half the book is death.
Wow. Okay. So not unlike what a real zompocalypse would probably actually
Exactly.
be. Right, I see.
No, I did an internet quiz, and it said I would survive.
Was this before or after you worked in the book? So you kind of cheated, really, with all these knowing this stuff.
No, it was like a Walking Dead quiz. But, like, I'm so terrified of zombie stuff that if I watch zombie-related movies, TV shows, read the books, read comics, all the rest, I will actually wake up with nightmares. I have planned my escape for the last... What was it? The mall one? The remake? I can't remember its name, but I saw it in Canberra, and Canberra is the nation's capital and also tiny. So we get out of the cinema.
Depressing.
Yeah. Anyway, so halfway through the movie, I realized I was biting my friend's jacket in terror. Now, this is not a guy I've known for years. This is a guy this is our first, hey, let's hang out as friends and go see a movie. It's like, so I slowly kind of unclench my teeth, rub his jacket, and then sit there biting my thumbs for the rest of the movie. Get out of the cinema. It's pitch black, and there's no one around. Like, this is a nation's capital, and there's no one on the roads. There's like just street lights. I made him walk me home.
Cam's not being very clear here. The nation's capital is isolated in the middle of nowhere, which is why no one goes to Canberra. No one goes to Canberra.
No, it's really lovely.
No one goes to Canberra.
Except
Also,
zombies.
you can't get out.
I see. Okay, so that's a perfect setting for it then. All right, so I think that means Apocalypse clearly has to go first. So, all right, chat. So you guys know the way. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so they if you get the code for this, you get it for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android as well. So you get all of those platforms.
Oh, it is available. Oh, it's on PC also. The Apocalypse one, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, check that out.
PC, Mac, Linux, and Android.
I didn't even know that. That's awesome, guys. So you are all capable of playing this. Assuming you have a PC, and if you don't, how are you here? But so,
yes.
Hi, 1298, welcome. Okay, guys, so we are going to do this giveaway. So let me, let's see. Let me do the, let me see. Let me set this keyword. Let's see. I hope I spell this properly. All right, Canberra. Type in Canberra. I really hope I got that right. Please type that in if you are interested in winning a copy of Zompocalypse Now. So if you're interested in winning a copy of Zompocalypse Now for either PC or Mac or Android or iOS, please type in the word Canberra.
It's Canberra?
You don't get the iOS version. With the...
Oh, not the iOS version, just 3.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Just 3. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
so not iOS, just the other ones.
Or Android. It gets you all of those.
Okay, awesome. Okay, all of them at the same time. That's awesome. Okay, and how badly did I misspell that? How badly did I misspell?
Canberra. They actually decided at the ribbon cutting ceremony naming it to call it like whoever was cutting the ribbon. However they pronounced it was how they were going to call it. Thank you. He just brought a tea.
Oh, hi.
I have a tea.
Another guess.
Sorry. Go back to work.
Yes. Go back. Slave boy.
Hello, sir. All right. Okay, so I spelled it something that looks vaguely right, but clearly isn't. But that's all right.
That's spelled right.
Sorry, it's what it is, right?
Yeah, it's spelled like that. It's just said Canberra.
Oh, all right. Okay, Canberra. All right, Canberra, but okay, so I'm fine. So Canberra.
Canberra.
Canberra, right, bra, all right.
Like bro, but bra.
Gotcha, okay, Canberra, all right. Canberra, but I got the spelling right, thankfully. Okay, so there we go, guys, Canberra. Type in that word if you guys are interested in winning this. We will stop the giveaway in just a moment here, and then I will send you a private message with this first Humble Bundle code. All right, going once. Going twice.
Like 100,000 people. Melbourne has like 4 million. It's kind of sad our nation's capital is small.
Well, wasn't the whole thing like they were arguing over Sydney or Melbourne being the capital, and no one could decide, so they put Canberra
in the middle.
In the middle.
It's the only non-coastal major city in Australia.
Interesting. Interesting. I've been to Sydney about 12 years ago, and I've not been to Melbourne, and I haven't been anywhere else. I went to the Blue Hills behind, to the
Blue
west, the Blue Mountains. I'm
it.
sorry. Oh, did you really? Oh, that was it was incredibly beautiful. I loved Sydney. I didn't love so much the 21-hour plane flight to get there, but I loved Sydney. But I have not been anywhere else, and I want to go. I would like to go to New Zealand also, so I would like to.
Oh yes, New Zealand's lovely.
Oh yeah, I went bushwalking there over Christmas, and it's really stupidly Lord of the Rings. Like you get there and you're like, oh, it is like that.
It is Lord of the Rings. Yeah, exactly. I'm a Lord of the Rings nut too. So, all right. So let us stop this giveaway, and the winner is. The winner is Eric. All right, Eric. We'll see you made Cam laugh, and so your reward is that you get to die in a zombie apocalypse. So congratulations. So I'm gonna send you I almost said I'm gonna send you a prime minister. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna send you a private message.
Please take him.
A private message. Yeah, no. I want no part of your prime minister. No thanks.
Awesome. Fist bump, Eric, for winning.
Listen, it took us 8 years to get a president we're not embarrassed by. We'll keep our leader, thanks.
And we're 10 years behind you guys to get this one.
Yeah, one step at a time, right? Okay, so let's see.
When I move country. I move country. By the way, I might be moving country.
All right, let's see, Eric. I'm sending you this PM as we speak. Some apocalypse code. All right, Eric, I have sent it off to you. And please do me a favor and let me know when you get that. Let me know, Eric, that it's worked. Okay, please let me know that it goes through. All right, that it's on its way. Yeah. Congratulations. All right. Here we go. What is this pun that you guys put up? It's more amazing than a talking dog is spelling. That picture is pretty funny, Adam.
It's so cute.
That's really funny. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So we've done the first giveaway. Okay. And again, lots of thanks to Tin Man Games for being so generous. That's very, very kind of you guys. So thank you.
No worries.
I'll stop laughing at some point.
Okay. Let me move you guys back up here. Let's make sure that I got everyone back on. Good. All right. Okay, so we were talking a little bit about some of the different elements. Let me ask one other question, and then I'll take questions from chat as we continue to play. Which is the music side of this. I'm a musician myself, so I'm a big fan of music in games. I think the music, arguably Bastion, which is a phenomenal game from a couple of years ago, largely succeeded, I think, in part because of how good the music soundtrack was, and I think a lot of games are going that direction. So I'm wondering what you guys do to create an atmospheric soundtrack that doesn't overwhelm the book at the same time. What are sort of your, not just with music, I guess, but with sound in general? And maybe Ben, I guess that's more for you to begin with as a question.
So with our soundtracks, we've had I think it's about 3 different musicians now. We've had Adrian Watkins is one who we've been working with for quite a while. Hang on, let me check the credits for this.
Oh yeah, it's my terrible.
Man, this is an old one.
Yeah, my Android tablet was actually a freebie from Google because my boyfriend entered some kind of robot challenge at the Google House during South by Southwest.
Credits.
And it's a terrible tablet.
It's a giant thing.
Yeah, but I hate technology, so it kind of works both ways. I mean, I love technology.
Yeah, so Adrian Watkins did the music for House of Hell. He's done quite a few of our game books, and it's been very, very good.
Did he do Assassin also? Did he do the Assassin music? Do you know, or
I think so. Yeah, for quite a few of the early books. It's been him. Ryan Grogan is another fellow that's been doing some music for us.
Okay.
He did Island of the Lizard King, which turned out really great.
Yep.
Yeah. I think with Zombocalypse we actually got some stock music for that. Yeah, which suited it really well. It worked surprisingly well. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly what we do with ones where we have our musicians is we get a a brief on what we want. So we say we want we describe the feel of the book or the story, and the scenario, and that we need a kind of main theme, a battle theme, and an opening as well. So those are generally the three kinds of soundtracks.
Gotcha. Have they gotten more involved over time? I mean, have they sort of, and I guess this is a question for graphics too, have they gotten more, complex and sort of more in depth as the books, as you guys have done more and more of these?
Yeah, it certainly seems to be that way. It was good with Starship Traveler, in that we were able to use a bit more the music we had a bit more creatively, and that at certain points of the book we would change a track so that it would suit the theme a bit more, rather than just constantly playing in the story music or just playing the battle music. So it helped the tension of the story ramp up a bit more.
Okay.
When you're reading it. So yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Interesting. Yeah. There's and guys.
Sorry.
It's okay. I feel very bad for Cam. I think the problem is when you show weakness, in this particular case, weakness to laughter, the chat will viciously go after you. This is why, yes. So you've made yourself a target of laughter. So
it's no one's fault but your own.
Yes, it's true. I'm catching it periodically. That's cute, Rogues. That's cute. What's up, Unholy Lover? All right, cool. All right, well then, that will allow us. Yes, please don't kill off my guest. That's not going to do well for anybody. No one's going to do well with that.
I do actually need her later, guys. So if you could just, yeah, I do actually need her.
She needs to survive.
Okay.
Okay.
It's never going to come out.
How can I give them my hard-earned money? Right, so this is a good way to start this out. What I'd like to do is chat, as you guys just saw. If you guys could please just, you know how we do this, just type in capital letter question, and then put in whatever your question happens to be. That way we can know what are you guys making silly puns and what are actual questions for Ben and Cam. So let's see. So $12.98, I will give you the free one because I think this is what you're asking. How can I give them my hard-earned money? So I guess the question would be through Android, through iOS, and then I guess through Humble, right? Now you can get a bunch of these games through Humble. Do you guys have a link to the Humble in general, not just the giveaways, but... Okay.
Yep.
Second.
Ben's taking control. I can't see this chat, so you can't make me laugh. Nah.
We'll see. There we go.
Shut up. You're mean.
So if you want to buy from Humble, so if you, for example, don't have a Android or iOS phone, but still want to play game books, you can. So all all of our game books currently on the Humble on Humble. So you'll get them DRM free, and they are PC, Mac, Linux, and Android. So you get. So yeah, you can get, I think, game books 1 to 9, Forgotten Spell, and Infinite Universe, and also Zombocalypse Now. That's all there is for the moment, but there will be more coming, probably after I finish Fear.
I was feeling astonishingly pleased with myself that I had got everything working with an Android emulator and all that, and it was like, nope, didn't have to do that. Could have just gone through PC. That would have been fine.
Well,
didn't realize.
Currently not. So
yeah,
you did good.
All right. Okay. Good. No, that's good. That's fine. So Jedi Knight has a question, then we'll move on here with the game. Jedi Knight asks, question, was it difficult to compress the pages to fit the screen of a handheld device? Did you have to change the page numbers because you couldn't fit all of a page? And I will say, before you answer that, when I first did this, I did have some trouble getting this. Assassin popped right up in widescreen, but for this one, this was defaulting to portrait, and I had to do a little bit of working around to get it to default to tablet, and then it was fine, and I could do it. So yeah, that's a good question about compressing the pages.
Yeah, so Assassin has, because it's on Humble, it's actually using our updated, most recent engine for that. So that's probably why it's not having so much trouble with what was it, screen rotation and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also, well, that in my case, but also compressing like page numbers, being able to fit certain pages on and so on.
Well, the thing is, our engine actually does that automatically. So,
Okay.
if you, for example, change the font size, like our where's that thingy? So, like, okay, so here you've got section 27, right? For example, of House of Hell. That's section 27 there, which is
Here's section 27 of mine, chat, the US version.
Yeah.
So we're all
Cool.
following along.
so big chunk of text there, and it's all one huge paragraph because that's how they wrote these in these books. And what we do is we split them up so they're a bit more readable and break them up as necessary, but they're all in one what we call section.
Okay.
So sections are as many pages as it needs to be, and that if you go in and change the font size, it'll increase the font size, but it'll still be on section 27. So
Okay.
rather than displaying page numbers, it displays section numbers.
So it's a little bit like a PDF reflow, an ability to reflow
Yeah.
text on a PDF.
Yeah.
Okay. Irrespective of the page numbers, it does that separately. Okay, that's cool. Very neat. Okay, so keep those questions coming, guys. We are going to continue here. Let's see, and then also we've reached an hour, so I just want to let Ben and Cam know we love having you here, but I'm going to let you know now. Chat will continue to love having you here forever. So when you guys need to go, please don't just tell me that this has been great, Arv, but we've got to go. Okay, please tell me that because I don't want you guys to.
At least.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, that's great. Because
At least.
everyone seems to be having a fun time. Cam's like, at least another 5 hours, at least. Okay. Let's see. I'm afraid our telephone line came down. Oh, sorry, I'm not doing the accent right. I'm afraid our telephone line came down tonight in the storm, he replies. We'll have it repaired tomorrow morning. In any case, the garage will not come out here at this hour. But don't worry, you're perfectly welcome to spend the night here. I am glad of the company. Tomorrow, Franklin's will take you into town. Ah, here is Franklin's now, all one of him. The butler comes back in to announce that a meal is ready. You both rise to go into the dining room. Let's see. The dining room looks magnificent. A long table stretches between two fine chairs and is laid with gleaming silver cutlery. A rich red wallpaper covers the walls, and the room is lit by a sparkling chandelier bristling with candles, which hangs from the ceiling. I wonder if there's pink champagne and ice or anything, and if Don Henley is drumming in the background. I hope so. You take your seat, and the butler moves behind you to offer you wine. Ah, here we go. All right, Alkies. I got you once already. Which wine would you like to drink? Would you like to choose the white wine or the red wine? Simple choice. White wine or red wine, guys? What's it going to be?
Is there more brandy?
See,
Or
I drink
brandy.
bright red. It's terrible.
Yeah, my mother was allergic to red wine, so
Yeah, I'm the same.
I have the Asian enzyme, or the lack of enzyme to break down alcohol, so yay! I mean, I've got beer down. I've got spirits down. Wine still need to
why not so much? Shadow Mage says red wine in big capital letters, for it is the color of blood. Great.
Reason?
Yes, blue, not an option, blue. So, Lakota, sorry, blue is not an option. Red wine or white wine? Depends on what's for dinner, depends on the complimentary wine. Okay. Listen, all. I think there might be some duck, maybe. I don't actually remember. Red, because it could be like werewolf blood and make us awesome. Okay. Rogan says red. I don't drink wino soda. I know, Jedi. I don't drink either. We need Virgil's root beer here, right? Red wine.
It's grape juice.
Yeah, it's fermented grape juice.
It's grape juice. It's grape juice. That's true. That's true. I do not drink wine, Grace says. White wine. I'm a red wine type of guy, if you know what I mean. Okay, so it looks like red, 2 for red, 3 for red, 4 for red, 5 for red. And we've got 1 white, 2 white, 3 white. All right, 5 for red, 3 white wine. No one's going to sing the UB42 song about red wine at all.
I can't sing.
I thought Arv said I don't drink wino soda, you know. What does it even mean? I don't drink wino soda. Okay, the house reds are usually better than the whites. Okay, so it looks like people are going for red, all right? What could go wrong? House of Hell, drink red wine. What could go wrong? The wine is impeccable, a fine vintage. Soup follows, and then you may choose between 2 dishes for your main course. Okay, here we go. So you can either have lamb or duck or tell your host that you have already eaten and you are not hungry. So will you guys choose lamb or duck, or you've already eaten and are not hungry? What's it going to be, chat? All right, sounds good, Lego. You are officially counted in the Cool Kids Club. So lamb, duck, or not hungry? Kilo says not hungry. Yes, Kilo's seen this horror movie. Not hungry! Shadowed Mage says bird flesh. All right, so 1 vote for not hungry, 1 vote for duck.
Lamb. Lambs are cute.
2 votes for not hungry. Twisted Chimera says duck and takes cover. That's cute. 3 for duck. 3 for duck. Lamb if we pick the red wine. We did, Eric. 3 for duck, 1 for red wine, 2 for not hungry. 3 for not hungry. Adam says I just ate some hot dogs. Don't eat, then you won't have to tip. Very nice, till 98. 4 not hungry. Unless the lamb was sacrificed to Satan. Rogan says not hungry. I choose spaghetti with French bread. That's not really what this is about. It's not really. 6 for not hungry. 7 for not hungry. So I've got 7 for not hungry. I've got a couple for lamb and 1 for duck. So it looks like not hungry. I think people understand the deal about not. They're worried about eating food in a strange house. See, if they called this House of Happiness, this would be a much better. This is such a spoiler from the very beginning.
I just find it funny that in America it was called House of Hades.
Yes, well, because otherwise it was too creepy, right? You could be corrupting the youth at that point, yeah. House of Hades. I love about that, because the thought was that by the time any religious figure figured out what Hades referred to, they would already be too late. So it's just to slow them down, really.
It was just a general underworld. It was never like a bad place. It was just where everyone went.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
When I was talking to Ben about this initially, it's like, I know it's been censored to something. What is it? House of Heck? You know?
Yeah. House of Hua. Yes. Yes. House of Hades. Okay, so it looks like we're going with not hungry. Satan is mad at us for the wine, so YOLO. Yes, indeed. Oh, your copy is called House of Hell in Canada? Well, of course, because Canada, like most places, has sensible laws, and, the United States does not, so, All right, not hungry. The Earl is outraged. How could you allow him to go to all the trouble of preparing a meal and then refuse to eat it? He's outraged, chat, outraged. Will you apologize and take the duck, apologize and take the lamb, or apologize and still say refuse to eat? So now we're back to duck, lamb, or still refuse to eat. The House of Pain.
Duck.
Yeah.
I would totally eat. I'm kind of like one of those people who just, you give me food, I'm going to eat it.
It's like, you have a suspicious meal. Certainly.
I trust people. I choose to believe that trusting people is a better way to go about life, which is sometimes why things get weird, but,
You get injured a lot, don't you?
Well, that's not a trust issue.
You sure?
Well, the dog maybe.
Let's see. Vote for lamb, vote for duck. He's outraged because we're onto his trap. Yes. Apologize and eat everything, all you can eat buffet. Lakota says refuse. Mining Miner says duck. Hillness says Cam isn't laughing enough. Kill says no eat. Rogan says refuse. Hillness says duck. Oh my goodness, you're all over the place. Let's see. So let's see. 1 vote for lamb. How many other votes for lamb? 1 vote for lamb. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 votes for duck. And then we have, let's see. I don't know what to call that as a vote, Adam. I don't think eating everything is an option. Let's see. No eat, refuse. 3 votes for refuse. And so Eric says lamb. And then Gray says that refuse to eat, then steal his smoking jacket. All right, so it looks like more people want to eat the duck. So they're apologizing and going with duck. It's close, but I think people want to apologize and eat the duck. So,
Very lovely people.
all right, the duck it is. Your mouth waters as a roast duck is laid before you. The Earl is having the same, and you both chat as you eat. He wants to know how you came to be driving along this road in the middle of the night, and you tell him about the old man's directions, and about what it's like when you picked up this book that said House of Hell on it. You ask him about himself and his family. The Earl of Droomer is the last survivor of his family. His estate stretches for miles around the house. At one time, the estate was prosperous, with many tenant farmers cultivating his land and providing a healthy income for his family. But things started to change. His sister died at the age of 32 under mysterious circumstances. She was found dead in a clearing in the woods with strange marks on her neck. Who would have thunk it, chat? Who would have thunk it? News traveled fast. The ignorant peasants started muttering about witchcraft and black magic. In their eyes, the house was cursed. Pure superstitious nonsense, of course, but gradually the farmers moved to new pastures, avoiding the estate. By now, you've finished your meal. I love how this is the first game book we've played where all of the food choices come into play. Like, I get the sense that it's really about whether you're doing things the right way for Iron Chef, honestly, less than, you know. Franklin turns to offer you fruit, cheese, coffee, and brandy. Will you take, chat? Fruit, coffee, and brandy, cheese, coffee, and brandy, or cheese and coffee? No option, just for fruit.
The most mundane decisions ever.
What was that book where, like, it's not one of ours, but it was like, do you choose the red button, the green button, or the blue button? And
Yes.
the next choice was, do you choose the triangle, the square, or the...
Oh, the jelly.
Yeah, or the jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking the Skylord.
Ian Livingstone's a big fan of those, I find. Caverns of the Snow Witch had some of that, where it's like there's no way to tell at all. It's just complete, you know, do you want the widget that looks like a star or the widget that looks like a square? Like, not, you know.
Yeah, we try to fix stuff like that so it's a bit less unfair.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, cheese. Shadow says cheese. Oh, that doesn't help. Cheese and coffee. Cheese and coffee, cheese and coffee, cheese and coffee, cheese and coffee. A lot of people want cheese and coffee except Lego, who says, who eats cheese with coffee?
Is it halloumi? Because I will eat halloumi with anything. Like, a halloumi burger with a coffee? It's totally fine.
Yes, for sure. Coffee at this time, are they mad? I'm waiting for the page where we die from alcohol poisoning.
Midnight,
That's
you're
a
having
good
cheese and coffee.
Okay, so it's midnight, I drink a coffee, and then I spend the whole night giggling madly at everything that's happening in this house.
As opposed to what's been happening this morning.
Well, I was going to ask if you don't normally giggle madly, Cam. Seems like a normal state of affairs.
Yeah, this is constant.
Oh, no, it's only when I have a coffee. It's when someone tells really bad jokes. It's... Okay.
That's fine. Okay, cheese and coffee is definitely the vote. The butler brings you in a plate of cheese. Oh, so I'm sorry, Ben, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just choosing a mind. So
Yeah. The butler brings you in a plate of cheese and steaming pot of coffee. He cuts you a portion of cheese and pours your coffee into a china cup. The conversation continues. You finish off. Yeah, exactly. Just goes on. It's the house of booze, I know, Gray. You finish off your meal. The Earl rises to his feet, saying, "Our conversation has been most enjoyable, but now you must be tired. Franklin's will show you to your room. Let us retire." You stand up. He's right, you are tired, and he's well past midnight. You stumble and reach out to steady yourself against the table. Phew, you didn't realize you were that tired. Or have you had a little too much to drink? Your head is spinning, and the voice of your host becomes part of a background noise which is getting louder and louder in your ears. Eventually, you collapse to the ground and lose consciousness. Well, GG, chat. You got everyone killed. Great job. That's it. You had to have the cheese and coffee. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually not true. Adam has a question. Have you guys thought about turning this book into a drinking game for mobile? Yeah, that would change the rating system quite a bit. I agree. You would get some to buy it.
To help you with that.
Is there actually, that does raise a question though, is there anything about the age for this game that you had to think about? I mean, were there things where there was stuff that maybe you didn't think was appropriate for kids, or was everything family friendly enough for everything, or not?
With most of them, we pretty much leave them as they are, because they've been designed with a pretty broad audience in mind.
Right, okay.
And besides, as soon as we hit, like, I think it's, if they have gambling, or if they, it's not really gambling, but like sometimes there's like there'll be a game where you like roll dice or something in the book, or where you're drinking wine or whatever. As soon as you click that, it goes 9+ on
Oh, wow.
So it's like, okay, yeah.
Okay, so I guess you gotta. So there's some judgment involved then on your parts.
Yeah, it's like usually by default our games are at least 9+.
Okay. Let me see. You open your eyes. Your head is spinning. It is some time before you are fully aware of the fact your hands and feet are bound. The room you're in is empty, but you work out a plan. You will hop over to the window, break the glass, and use it to cut yourself free. Pulling yourself to your feet is awkward, but you manage it, and with a mixture of hops and shuffles, you arrive at the window. Outside, the wind is blowing the rain against the window panes. Will you go ahead and smash the window with your hands, something of a risky business, or will you instead test your luck? All right, guys, do you want to test your luck or smash the window with your hands?
See, if this was real life, this is the point. I'd probably fall out the window.
Yeah, they're not testing Cam's luck here, everyone. You're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Cheat on, so we'll always win luck.
What's it going to be, guys? Test your luck or smash your hands repeatedly into the window, because what could go wrong? And just as a programming note, we'll do a second giveaway after we're done with this little portion. Shoutout says test luck. Kilobyte says luck. Mining Miner says test luck. Lakota says test luck. Lego Freak says luck, even though our luck is 8. 1298 says smash. Rogan says we don't have luck. Well, you have luck. Test luck. We've YOLO'd it from here. Why stop? That's a good point. Let's see. Healness says test luck. I want to introduce you to a concept, Adam, called sunk cost. And it means when you've made a series of investments, you don't just keep making investments in a desperate attempt to get you out of the initially bad investment. So, so like we've YOLO'd so far, which has gotten you unconscious and tied up in a room. Just considering, maybe don't keep driving the bus in that ditch. I'm just saying.
Yeah, don't keep throwing good money after bad.
There you go. Can I smash the window with my face? That seems about as smart as using my hands. I don't think that's an option, Kill, but... all right, so you guys are going to test luck. Here we go. Hopefully this plus my cheating ability to bump the page will do something. Here we go. Yes! You are lucky. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's right. You managed to escape the splintering grass. Yes. And, you clearly were harmed by the grass, which you've already had. This splintering glass without harm. You cut yourself free and massage your wrist to get the circulation moving again. Then you walk over to the door to try it. It is not locked. You YOLO'd the Firetop Mountain FF book in 1. Okay, Adam, I believe you. You try the handle, open it a little, and look outside. Your room is on a first-floor landing. Facing the door is a balustrade, and looking over the banisters, you can see the entrance hall below. To your left, there are 2 doors in the corner of the landing, which runs along to the right. So, do you wish to go this way, or go to the right, where the landing runs past another door and then turns to the left? So basically, go left towards 2 doors, or go right towards 1 door and then a turn at the end of that hallway.
2 doors. I had to think about which hand was left. I'm doing well today.
Are we?
I am.
Are you?
I'm doing well. I'm in a happy bubble of happiness.
So left or right, 1298, basically. Left or right. 1298 says what? What on earth was that? Shoutout says right. Let's see. Twisted says left. Hillness says right.
Right.
2 doors down is 3 doors down, Eric, yeah. Rogan is left. 2 for right, 2 for left. So far, you guys doing a bang-up job. Yep. 3 for left, 2 for right. Always left. 4 for left. 4 for right, 5 for left. Okay. So 5 left, 4 right. Right. Okay, it looks like we must make the right decision. Very nice. Right. It looks like right is going to win. Okay. All right, so now I have to remember what the hell that is. Okay, that's this one. Yes, indeed. Okay. And actually, this is a good question from Lego Freak, and then we'll do this giveaway. Lego asks, question, in some fighting fantasy game books we've played on stream, it was heavily suggested sometimes to map our paths and adventures. Do you intend to add maps to future game books for mobile editions? That's an awesome question. Maps?
We do have maps, yes. We've got maps in Forest of Doom, Island of the Lizard King, Starship Traveler has got a map of the galaxy. Yeah, Appointment with Fear has got a map as well. And I think Gary Chalk's Gundogs, which is not fighting fantasy, but that's got a map as well.
Oh, cool. So in general, for your originals, you would want to include a map most of the time? I mean, or not?
It tends to depend. It seems to be like a case-by-case basis. Sometimes it suits, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I think, there's been quite a few maps in our Fighting Fantasy stuff now, so yeah.
Difficult to program or not? And also, Cam, difficult to QA or not as well, like the maps.
I kept breaking the map.
Yeah.
I keep breaking the maps. Like, I'll just come back and be like, I made the map disappear.
Oh yeah, there was the time that in Cam, because you can pinch and zoom the map, with those gestures, right?
Right.
By touching and zooming in and out. So Cam decided to pinch and
flick it
off the screen, and you couldn't escape. There was no way to do anything. The map was gone.
Oh, and then you can kind of squish it if you keep cycling across the page, it'll just like slowly disappear the map off.
Thanks, Cam.
But the maps are really good now.
Yeah, they're pretty.
So you broke it so that it's stronger than it was before. It could rebuild it. Yes. That's funny. That's a good question, Lego. All right, let's do this second giveaway then. So again, I'll give our guest the choice, maybe one of the other three. So Assassin in Orlan, Temple of the Spider God, or Infinite Universe. What do you guys want to do for these? What do you think for the next giveaway?
Oh, is it
Us?
Yeah,
or
you
them?
guys decide.
Oh.
You decide, because I decided it's apocalypse.
Fine. Spider God's pretty cool.
All right.
And it also has a sort of fear sort of thing. It's got a thing called phobia
Okay.
because you keep encountering giant spiders.
Which really problems.
Nice, okay. All right, so if you guys want to win Temple of the Spider God, which again is available on PC, Android, iOS, you get all three of them, right? Did I miss one?
It's on. You get it for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android.
PC, Mac, Linux, and Android. Sorry. PC, Mac, Linux, and Android. And we'll do the keyword since it seems to fit. Brandy.
It's by Fighting Fantasy author Jonathan Green.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Right, Jonathan Green, who wrote one of the later ones, right? Book 40 or something, like one of the later
Hero
Fighting Fantasy
Bones
ones.
and Howl of the Werewolf.
That's right, okay.
No, I don't think that was him.
And the only one who's not eligible for this is Eric because she already won one. So, but everyone else is eligible. I'm trying to get us drunk. Yeah. Yes, it was me. It was me that got us drunk. This is very much like the policeman that shows up on the scene after a gang shootout where there's 150 people on the ground, and you're like, it was the policeman who really did all of this. Like, no. I think you guys had reached that point before I arrived on the scene.
Or maybe it's just the fact that we're Australians, and of course, you're trying to make us feel at home.
Yes.
That's very nice.
Is Australia have a higher than normal alcohol consuming culture?
I don't know. I've heard that we're pretty well in Melbourne. Out of Australia, we're the biggest drinking group of
Are we?
the game. Because the game devs meet up once a year or something like that from all across Australia.
But
apparently, the Sydney-siders are all like.
But Liam just came back from Obsidian. He was saying there was much more of a drinking culture over
Yeah.
there. But, whereas over here, it's more of a coffee culture. So, like, we drink a lot more coffee than.
Well, in Melbourne.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Oh, New York's starting to get Melbourne-style coffee. There's like
Oh, thank God.
a dude who moved to New York found a whole heap of Australian baristas, cafe managers, and stuff like that. Got them all together.
You
and
can't
started-
take them. You can't take them.
No. People need to take our coffee, people, because then they get better coffee. So when we travel, we get good coffee. Unless you're in Japan, in which case the hot coffee in can is like the most amazing thing in the world. Also, we have a question.
Yes. A couple
in
of questions, actually. Yes, that's right. The Tin Man Games in America. If things go swimmingly, will we perhaps be seeing a Tin Man Games in America in the distant future? Probably not your decision, but would you guys expand outside of Melbourne in the UK?
Probably unlikely.
At the moment.
Ben is American. Does that count?
That maybe.
No, he's Australian.
Yeah.
He was originally and he moved to Australia.
Okay, but you guys are happy. You guys are pretty much everyone is happy with their. I mean, I guess the internet makes it much more possible, obviously, for you guys to be functioning on different continents,
And
literally.
We do turn up to conventions like PAX and things like that, so you guys can totally check us out and say hello.
Hi, we're pretty friendly.
Are
generally.
you guys going to be? And before you go on to answer that question more, are you guys going to be at the PAX? Is the next one? What other ones do you hit?
We are not sure at this stage.
Yeah.
I
would love to. It would be amazing.
We'd love to. Yeah, we're fully prepared to go. So
Like seriously, I would totally have my bags packed already. Except I only do that like 3 hours before I fly.
Obviously, we'll be at PAX Australia because it's like right down the road from us.
Okay.
So we'll be at that. We were at East.
Oh, you were.
Yeah. Cam was at East.
Yeah. Not last PAX East was Clinton. The one before was
right. I beg your pardon. Yeah. No, you were at last one. So
yeah.
I'm confused. Yeah, so Clinton, who's one of our programs, was at East this year with Neil. So yeah, and that was where we first showed off Appointment with Fear on their gigantic, the world's biggest iPad.
Nice, very cool. Very cool. And I guess, and I assume that you guys, enjoy that sort of direct face-to-face stuff because so much of the feedback you get typically is, pixels on a screen, right? I mean, emails and things like that. So I don't know if you enjoy having people face-to-face tell you, this is awesome, thank you, or something.
Can you find the picture?
Yeah, I'll find it on the Twitter.
We've got the world's biggest iPad.
on the Twitter.
And you can't actually see my bruise, which is good.
Okay.
Because I just fallen off my bike before the photo was taken and had like this massive hedge-sized bruise
Oh
on
my goodness. Hi, G-Man.
Yeah.
What's up?
All right, let's...
They have a PAX South now? I didn't even realize that, Gray.
They do, yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it to those.
No, unless
It's
anyone
likely-
wants to put me up for a long time.
Yeah, because
Guys can't make an appearance at Gen Con in Indianapolis. I'm a member of the Writer Symposium there. It's a big, I mean, 50, 60,000, gamers who would be tied into the game book types, like you folks.
we'd love to do more things, and unfortunately, the big problem is really, as you say, it's 21-hour flight,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I'm okay with
it's
that. I just fall asleep for like 21 hours.
a 21-hour flight and the cost of each flight.
Yeah, that
and
one's the one.
accommodation. It's not like
No, that's when you
going
go
to
knocking on some random dude's house and just be like, hey man, can't see any phone lines into your house, can I crash?
You're welcome to do that.
This will
So-
definitely happen. So you're popping up a picture for them to look at, Ben?
Yeah, at some
so-
point.
so-
Ben's doing this.
right,
I just do the excited typing with exclamation marks.
there you go.
Oh, cool, Gray. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at this picture. That is a large iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe we also had cardboard cutouts of superheroes as well.
At PAX
Yes.
East last.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah. And Clinton's the programmer in there, and Ariel used to work in our office with us.
That's right.
I think she did some work
She's-
for us.
Yeah. She
She's American.
she edited Curse of the Assassin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And hi, Ristani. Hi, Xanos. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. All right, here's the other picture of the cat. That's funny. The Tin Minions are ready to fight crime at PAX East 2014. You guys had a decent-sized booth at PAX East.
Yeah, we were part of the Indie Mega booth.
Oh, I love the Indie Mega Booth. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And actually, that's a good question. Did you guys find... So you were... I'm sorry. You said that neither one of you were at this PAX East.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Yes, no, yes, we weren't both
Our
there.
company
not.
was, but neither of us were.
Yeah.
I was curious because I did wonder what the reaction from a largely video gaming crowd. I mean, I found the reaction is pretty good in my, relatively limited, exposure here on Twitch, but to game book types. But I'm curious about that versus video gamers. Do you have a niche issue where people who are reading would rather just read the books, and people who are gaming are like, where's all the awesome, bang up lights and so on and sounds?
Yeah.
We had generally when we pitch our stuff at PAX, we open with, "Do you like to read?" And if they say no, it's like, "Okay, enjoy the rest of your PAX."
I usually start with, how are you?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
each to their own.
That tends to help target the audience
Yeah.
a bit more.
Yeah, you mentioned like choose your own adventure books and fighting fantasy, and a lot of people, they'll either know them or they won't. A lot of the time they're interested to have a look and things like that. So
That's right.
it's
Yeah.
actually alright.
Clinton and Neil were saying in particular at PAX East with the appointment with Via Demo running constantly, and you were able to use a controller to interact with it. You just pull it, go up to it and start playing. It was really great for people to just be able to start playing and have a go, and it was just constantly going. It was very visually interesting.
Okay.
So it attracted a lot more attention and got a lot more people who we think normally wouldn't be interested in this kind of interactive storytelling,
Okay.
which is really, really cool.
My experience has been that when people get sucked into it, they don't realize how much fun they're having.
Yeah.
We played a little bit of this D&D Next pen and paper stuff, which I love, and I grew up with this stuff. And now, ironically, I get to fanboy out with a lot of them because as an author, I hang out with those people. So like Ed Greenwood, who did the Forgotten Realms stuff, he is an amazingly awesome guy, but is also a guy who wrote, half the modules I have sitting in my basement. It's a very strange experience, but I found that when people get a chance to see, I mean, I'm 41, so I grew up with this kind of stuff, but most of the people on Twitch, obviously the demographic skews younger, although it is growing up a little bit, I think, the demographic,
Yeah,
but still it skews younger. But nonetheless, when people sort of get into the story, they find they'll be on for hours, and then they're like, this was an incredible experience, because it still, to me, is driven by story, by character, by the excitement of being immersed, in that world, regardless of the medium that delivers it. So that's why I'm always curious to ask those questions. I mean, I don't know, if I were not a reading guy, I'm sure I would look at this differently, but it seems to me that they do end up working out, that people do actually like playing these if you can sort of get them past the, wait, this isn't, I have to read text, what do you mean, sort of thing.
What are you doing?
Sorry. I'm
Yeah, no, it's really good to see so many people get into that whole well, essentially it really is interactive storytelling at its basis. It's my brother used to play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I loved going through the monster manual. That was my favorite.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh God, I love the monster manual. But yeah, it was always great to see the appeal of that kind of stuff, and whereas it's not really, to me the appeal was not really that of like all the dice and the stats and things like that, but they're essentially a kind of a storyteller who'd make a story as you went along, and everyone would perform actions, and then based on that the story would change.
Yes. Yes.
And it's very difficult to get that kind of thing even in modern games today, because there has to be the story has to be very dynamic, based on what's happening, and imaginative. It's
Sure.
all based on imagination.
Sure.
You just it's still quite difficult to get that even in stuff that happens today.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's interesting that even in something like BioWare with Mass Effect 3, one of the objections to the ending was the fact that people felt that their narrative choices had not been respected. And I mean, I talked to people about that, and I said, listen, this is a tremendously good news for writers, because people were objecting to story. They didn't look at it and say, oh my God, it's not awesome enough with enough shooting and there's not enough cool graphics. They objected to the story and not having enough of the story respected. And if you look like The Wolf Among Us, which I just finished last night on stream, all those, the Telltale Games people, story really drives a lot of it, seems.
What do we need to finish? Because I'm still playing Halo 1.
I need to finish Wolf Among Us. I played the first episode. I loved it.
Wolf Among Us is great. Very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, but when your pile of shame comes up to here for the old consoles, it's a little hard to get through to the new ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, we can. I think they can identify. All right, let's do this. So let's finish this giveaway. So the winner of the giveaway is, if I can spell the word stop. Winner is Hillness. Congratulations, Hillness, who cheated earlier today. That's all right, though. Hillness, you won. And so I'm going to send off. Let me send a message to Hillness. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me do that right here. All right, so you have won a code to Temple of the Spider God. So same thing, Hillness. If you could do me a favor, please, and let me know if this code works. I just want to make sure that the codes are working properly. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. Humble code. All right. And Hillness, that is on its way to you. All right, cool. There we go. Oh, I think I may have lost them. Hold on, bear with us. I lost them for a moment. Bear with me, bear with me. All right, let's see.
Oh, we're back.
Did I get you guys back? So I see you. I don't see your webcam though.
Oh, hang on. We just need to click
That one.
That's it.
Not the hang up button.
Yeah, don't.
There we go. There we go. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, we got them back. They missed you quite a bit.
Aww. Yeah, that's so sweet.
It's nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So with streaming, that was actually why I set our Tin Man Games channel up to do some streaming at some point. But it's just with everything else, it's just been one of the lower priority things.
Well, we could get it done, say, starting August, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot. There's a lot of stuff you can show off.
Well, you know, I mean, if you guys want to, so you have a Twitch, you obviously have your Twitch account right now. I am fairly confident if you guys, if chat would be willing to follow Tin Man Games. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Follow, kapow. So all of you guys should go follow Tin Man Games. Just click on their, you know how it works. I'm explaining to Twitch how Twitch works. You guys know how this works. So make sure that this happens. Let's see. And then we had 2 questions they said, and then I will give them the chance again. I don't want to hold them forever. We love having them, so I'm not going to drive them away, but I don't want to. I always feel bad at this point because otherwise we could just keep going and going. So let's see. Thought about streaming your personal channel. All right. So Adam they're already answered that question, I think. Xanos asks I'm not sure, a very serious question. Why are you guys in a dorm room?
Oh, I'm just going to camera around a little bit.
Yeah, if you could do that.
So this is our office space. Oh, and there's some people working.
Look at that office.
I know.
That's only part of it.
That's not our office.
No.
Ours is in the office.
That's not actually. You're not even in that room. This is somewhere else.
It goes further down, and we have a 3-head coffee machine as well, like espresso machine.
I see.
So, which we need all the time.
which you need all the time, I would imagine.
All the time.
So I remember I visited, I had a chance to go into the Blizzard offices some years back, and I was amazed how it was what would happen if you took a regular corporate office and then just dumped games and orcs on top of it. Like, so it's just cubicles, but with orcs and games. So I'm curious, like, down in your area, is it sort of like, I mean, does it look like a normal office cubicle, but it's got 1,000 tons of, you know, fighting fantasy game books, orcs, elves, dwarves, like, what is it like?
Like, I mean, that's where this came from. Our big have the